Hey, what's up, guys and gals? I'm going to do something I've never done before, and I'll probably never do again. But that could change. Depends on the type of class. But let's talk about what's going on right here, right now. I'm going to give away 5 slots to people who want a free intermediate defensive handgun combatives class. So I'm going to talk about what the class involves, and I'm going to talk about the prerequisites to being in the hat to be one of the selected 5 to take this free class. So first off, what does an intermediate defensive handgun combatives class cover from WarriorWorks? Number 1, we're going to talk about speed and accuracy, how to do effective combat techniques in terms of speed and accuracy, the fundamentals, the mechanics and techniques, to be fast when we need to be fast, but still effective, and accurate when we need to be accurate. Okay, so that's the meat and potatoes in a 3D environment. So you've got a bad guy, not a piece of paper. We're going to talk about weapon retention. We're going to talk about weapon disarms if someone else has a weapon, how to deal with edge weapons against you, how to deal with blunt force weapons against you. We're going to talk about some very basic empty-handed skills that you may need to delay a threat in time to present your weapon, or just to get out of a bad situation if you don't have access to your weapon. So that's sort of the meat and potatoes of an intermediate defensive handgun combatives class from WarriorWorks. Those are the things we're going to cover. We're also going to cover human factors in use of force, what happens to a human being psychologically in a life or death encounter. We're going to talk about what's most likely to happen environmentally, so the internal and external. Even though we know we cannot predict exactly what's going to happen in our gunfight, it helps to know what's most likely to happen statistically so that we can section off the time we have, which is limited, to train in the ways that are most likely to become manifest to you if you ever had to reach for a weapon in self-defense. We're going to talk about the legality and ethicality of using your weapon as a civilian and the world out there, with everybody having a cell phone, everybody having security cameras, and every reporter wants to put the good guy in the news as the bad guy. So we'll talk about that as well. So here are the prerequisites for being selected as one of the 5. So here's what you need. Number 1, you need to be available in the greater Birmingham metropolitan area on or around July 28th, 2018. That is a date that I've penciled in. I will move forward and pin it in as soon as I can make sure I can lock it down. And then eventually I will Sharpie it in, and it is set in stone pending some sort of catastrophe. Okay, so when I say greater Birmingham metropolitan area, within an hour of downtown Birmingham, most likely much closer than that. The plan is to be outdoors. We will be indoors if we have to because of inclement weather or anything like that. But you need to prepare to be outdoors for 5 to 6 hours. So sunscreen, bug spray if you feel like you need it, appropriate clothing, a way to hydrate, bring some food. We may break for lunch, we may not, so be prepared for that as well. And then in terms of equipment you need to bring with you, you need a firearm, you need a holster or holsters, and don't show up with something that you don't carry at some point in your life. So if in the wintertime you typically carry outside the waistband with a cover garment on, then bring something like that. If you carry a appendix, bring that. If you carry in the ankle, we need to talk about your decisions potentially, but bring whatever it is that you carry. If you carry in a purse, then bring that. But I would also encourage you, in fact, require you to have some sort of on-the-body holster that you can use in this class. And we can talk about philosophies for why the weapon should be on your body and not in a purse all the time, if need be. But if you carry a lot in your purse, then bring that if you're selected. So you need a weapon and a way to store the weapon on your body, i.e. a holster. Okay, there are some holsters I'm not going to allow you to use. A VersaCarry is not going to be allowed in my class. So one of the ones you pull up, like looks like a cell phone, and it pulls a pouch out like a kangaroo, and there's a gun in it. But we'll talk about those things as you put your name in the hat. So a weapon, a holster, a belt. You need at least 250 rounds of ammunition. If you want to bring more, you're certainly welcome to, and we'll probably shoot it. You need to be competent in terms of the fundamentals of marksmanship. I'm not talking about in a gunfight, but you can stand on a range and you can call your shot within reason. What I mean by that, if you can't run a target to 5 yards and shoot a 5-round group in the size of your fist, you're not ready for this class yet. So get with me in the future if you are. You also need to be safe with in my class. In other words, I expect you, when you show up, to be able to articulate verbally the 4 weapon safety rules. True every weapon like it's loaded. Keep your finger straight off the trigger, tuned into fire. Know your target and what's beyond it, and don't point a weapon at anything you don't intend to shoot. I need you to know those in your mind and then to demonstrate them with your actions at all times. Okay? You also need to bring an open mind. I may ask you to do things in a way that you're not used to doing them, but it's for your benefit. Understand that when you come to me to take a class from me, I'm going to expect you to do it the way that I instruct, so that when you leave, even if it's a way that you're not typically used to doing it, and we can get into stance, Weaver versus isosceles, and those kinds of things, I would expect you to do it the way that I'm teaching you, so that at the end of the class, you've got some trigger time and muscle memory and invested into this new methodology, and you can pick from there what's best for you moving forward in your opinion. What else? You need to have a pistol permit, a concealed carry permit from wherever you're from, okay? If you aren't able, because of where you live, to acquire that, if you live in New York City but you happen to be in Birmingham in July that week, then let me know when you communicate with me that that's why you don't have one. But most of the people I feel like they're going to be interested in this are going to be fairly geographically local to Birmingham and will most likely already have a pistol permit or should be able to acquire one between now and then. The reason I'm requiring you to have a pistol permit is it functions as a background check. I want to make sure that I don't have axe murderers and felons showing up to take a class from me, because I don't have to charge you to do a background check. So your pistol permit or your concealed carry permit will function as a background check when you show up. So once again, if you can't or won't have one, then you can communicate with me when you put your name in the hat. So how do you do that? How do you put your name in the hat? Number one, you need to like this video. You need to comment that you're interested on this video. You need to have subscribed to my channel, and I need you to find me on Facebook, Warrior Works Training. The logo looks the same. You'll be able to find me. And send me a message on Warrior Works on Facebook that you're interested in the class. I want to know what weapon, make, model, and caliber that you're intending to bring to class, what types of holsters you have, and what weight methodology you carry your weapon. And I want you to tell me, and obviously you're checking all these boxes. Don't even message me if you aren't ready for the class yet, or you can't meet these prerequisites in terms of ammo and all that kind of stuff. But tell me why I should pick you. And if you don't know why I should pick you, then think about it and then do the message. And this isn't a reward for you saved a bunch of puppy dogs in your life, or that you were, whatever. I just want to know why you want to take this class and why I might pick you over the 50 other people with the exact background as you. So it gives me some way to differentiate people. It gives me an insight into your philosophy of carry and why you want this training and why you need to get it from me. So Warrior Works is really designed to take people who don't have the financial or logistical ability to take a multi-day or week-long class somewhere, because there's great places to go take those classes, but they are logistically taxing and expensive. But they also want to get more out of the training experience than just going and practicing at the range. So you've got shooting, you've got practicing, and you've got training, and this is an option for you to come get some free training. It's a 5 to 6 hour course. Once again, I think I've outlined the prerequisites and the intent of the course fairly well. So like, comment, subscribe here. Find me on Facebook at Warrior Works Training. Send me a message there. Tell me what the make, model, caliber of your weapon is, what types of holsters you intend to bring, that you can meet all the prerequisites I've articulated here, and why I should choose you. And we need to do this pretty quickly. So if you aren't available, but you think one of your friends might be and be ready for this class, then forward this to them. Share this on your Facebook page or whatever, so that we can get 5 people in this course. And the last thing I'm going to require you to do is, at the end of the class, we're going to sit down in front of a camera as a group, and we're going to individually talk about what you took away from the class. I want you to be open and honest about your experience and whether or not you feel like this class would have been worth $200, $250, depending on exactly the outline of the class. So do all those things. Let me know if you're interested. We'll get 5 people. We'll stay in communication until we can go from penciling to penning to sharpieing in that date of July 28th, which is a Saturday, 2018. And I look forward to seeing you in person on the range. Till then.